boy! Oh no! Oh crap! Soap!
Oh my gosh! Guys, I can't even begin to describe how dire and unfortunate the circumstances that we're standing in really are. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris, but you can call me a klutz. I just had the most unfortunate of unfortunate things happen to me. Okay, so it's not usually in the shot, but I have my laptop right here. It's got my notes. I can look down and glance and maybe pull up a clip or do a lot of technical jargon things with it. However, I also am a thirsty boy, okay? And I had myself a nice bucket of milk, and the condensation of dairy was more than I had anticipated, so I went to grab it, and I just, you know what, check this out.
Oh boy! Oh no! Oh crap! Soaked! This is the worst thing that could have...
It's everywhere. Not my kazoo. No way I did it in with milk. I spilled it all over my laptop, and not only that, but over the desk, over my phone, on the microphone. There's monitors below. Hundreds, nay, thousands of dollars worth of equipment are soaked in this calcium-ridden beverage, and it's not turning on. Okay, so I mean, actually, I don't even know if you just saw the clip that I referenced. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, dude. I'm at a loss for words. And the worst part is that the milk prices went up, and then I paid more, and then I dumped it all over. Oh, I'm so upset, guys. I can't believe I let that happen. All right, and hopefully some of it starts working. All right. I mean, let's thank God it wasn't whole milk, or we'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I'm really bummed out, and I can't even take time to fiddle or figure it out because it's late, and I'm recording this because I procrastinated because I was out getting milk. And now the show must go on, so we gotta do this and have fun. Look at this, guys. Look at this. I'm looking at my notes on a freaking yellow legal pad, okay? And my, how times have fallen. We're in trying times, guys. Trying times. And another thing, dude, my hair looked phenomenal right before. But then I was all frazzled and razzled, and now I gotta put it in a hat, guys. It's just... You don't expect something like this to happen. You know, I mean, you read about it, you see it in the movies, you see it on the news, but you never expect it happen to you. Oh, Lord bless me. So yeah, it's drying out. We're gonna need a whole lot of rice for everything. All right, I'm about to straight up fund all of rice. I don't. How do you fix such a thing? You can't get into it. I have it just setting upside down, and there's just milk just draining. It's like laughing at me, and for some reason I was pressing the keys, and Sierra's going, like it was trying to get sound out, but the milk was like soiling it, so it sounded like my laptop was actually in pain. I'm sorry, laptop. Oh, so bummed out. So anyways, guys, in other news, there's not much going on. This is really in the forefront of my brain. I don't know how I'm going to move past it, but we'll try. So what's going on in my life, in the world? The house flipping chronicles that have been going on for way too long are finally over. I'm not going to get into all of the nonsense that has gone down, but let's just say people were lied to. People were swindled. They were told they had to finish all these houses in a certain amount of time, but it turns out they didn't. So then a bunch of different family members got freaking coagulated together to get the work done, but it didn't really need to happen, just it caused more stress and anxiety across everybody. I'm not going to get into it, of course, but if something like that may have happened, that's what I would say. I would also say something along the lines of they drove by his house and started accusing people of not being on the job even though they were sick, and saying like a psycho ex-girlfriend saying you might be working in someone else's house, but I'm not going to get into it, okay? Somebody out there might be insane and might be making jobs way more difficult for everybody. But I'm not going to get into it, okay? What I will get into, though, all right, is that on one of these jobs, this potentially crazy person made a very awkward situation for me, okay? So, again, maybe I'm not going to get into it, but some things were being rushed, and a particular piece of work needed to be done. So there's 2 different houses, right? House A is already done, but there were some leftover tools that are in the bottom in the basement of this house that people are now living in. House B is the house that's currently getting work done, but it needs the tools from House A to be at House B. Now, this is where I come in. So, lady says, we need to get those tools so you can finish this house right now. Everybody looks at me. Tristan, go over there, get the tools. I think no biggie, no problem. Surely a little awkward to knock on someone's door and say, hey, can I go down in your basement? There's a lot of things that I might need to go check on. I go over there. Knock, 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 wait. Knock, 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 wait. Knock, 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 wait. I'm waiting. Ain't nobody showing up. So I go back to my father, who happens to have the keys to this place. And I'm thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? Now, this lady, we'll call her Nice, she says that I can just take the keys and go inside. And I go, no. I'm not doing that. Right? There's people in this, there's cars in the driveway. They said people are home, knock and wait. But I have the keys, and they say, go over there, just get the stuff out. And I refuse. I'm not going to do such a thing. Just walk into someone's house. All right. This is just a college girl living, and she has no idea. And I'm like, I'm not going in there. All right. Now, I've never been a college woman, admittedly, but I have to assume that a man walking in unannounced to get some things that you may or may not know are even there has got to be a bit frightening. So I say nay to this. And she responds and fires back with, I called the roommate, who's not at this house. And she said, go ahead. And I said, huh? She said, yeah, she's either in the shower or sleeping. I'm not there, but go ahead, use the keys, walk in. Huh? Dude! This provided no assurance to me. And by the way, as I've established, whoever this mysterious figure is, all right, might not be the most credible person. So now I'm being sent over there, and everyone's like, oh, we need the tools, Tristan, we need the tools. How are we supposed to work at the tools? We don't have the tools. So I go over there, and I've never been a young woman. But if she is in the shower, if she is sleeping, she has no warning. There's no heads up. The roommate's like, yeah, just fine, just go in, right? Because there's no way of contacting her. Imagine you are sleeping and you have no idea anyone's even coming by today, and ding, someone opens, boom, steps in. And they gave me the go-ahead. They gave me as much assurance as they would like. And it was just one of the worst feelings of my life. I felt like I was intruding, and I'm knocking a bunch of times, and I'm like jiggling around the doors, like I'm giving you a chance to know that I'm not really breaking in, but I'm slowly coming inside here. And it was nothing happened. I never saw the lady. I didn't walk around looking in the house, but I heard somebody in the other room, and all I could picture was her like hiding in a closet, because still no warning. Nobody got a hold of this woman, and here I was breaking into her home. I was like, hello? I'm really sorry about the entrance. There were some leftover tools. Some people have sent me in here. I'm just going to grab them, and I will be on my way. This will be really quick. I begin to walk down the stairs, and for whatever reason, the people who lived here had barricaded this door with a variety of mops and brooms and vacuums and step ladders. I open this. I'm knocking over things. Dude, I'm going to be just 1 second. It's going to be no problem. I'm knocking everything down the stairs. That's loud. Crash, bang, boom. If she didn't hear me announce it before, she knows I'm in now. I get downstairs. I'm trying to clean all this stuff up, dude. I'm fuming. I'm upset. I'm embarrassed. I'm scared. I might be more scared than she is. I don't want to run into her. I don't want to be in this predicament. So the stuff downstairs, the tools in question, were way more than I was told. Okay, so I look down, a plethora, an ocean of monuments and things that are going to take me a good bit to clean up, which, by the way, also are filled with water. So after a good 20-25 minutes of me lugging these things up and down the stairs, I've soaked this poor woman's kitchen in water. And after being home alone by them, okay, they freaking Kevin McAllistered me up and down the stairs. I'm tripping and I'm falling on the stairs. I'm hurt and I'm just upset and I'm soaking wet. And I this might not be okay of me, but I thought I was being a good Samaritan. I had already knocked over the mop, and before I put it back, I was mopping this person's floor because I'd spilled water everywhere. And again, I can only imagine the sight if she wasn't awake before. Imagine you're in a deep sleep. College is tough. You're just going through the first weekend, whatever. And you walk out, I want a piece of toast. There's a strange man, okay, who may or may not ruin his laptop later, is sitting there with a bunch of tools all over the place, mopping your floor. And I've got the keys right here. It was just an unsettling situation. Now, she never showed up. Again, I felt like I could hear her, and I was trying to make sure she knew. I'm just here for the tools real quick, okay? They told me I could come in. Your roommate said it was fine. I'm really sorry. You know, if you could give me some confirmation and make me feel like I'm less weird than I am, that'd be great. But I never got that. So that was how that whole situation went. But good news is it's all over. It's finally done, and we don't have to deal with whoever, I'm not going to get into it, this psycho person might be. I will say, though, there were signs. You know, you got to be careful getting into business with some people, and they tend to be very fond, this lady and her potential husband, who knows, they're very fond of my brother Carlton, and this was one of the first signs. Now, don't get me wrong, my brother Carlton, phenomenal, wonderful, incredible brother. It's a stand-up guy. But when they walked into this house, that our whole family was there, plugging away, they love him. And I don't even know why. By the way, I've worked for both of these people, individually, apart. They each have their own separate business. I have worked under them, okay? And I thought I was a good employee. But Carlton worked as an employee for them at some point, and they just about worship him. Now, it was like a confusing amount where all of us were like, what is going on? Like, they might as well have been pinching his cheeks like he was the second coming. I asked him later, I was like, did you deliver their son or something? I have no idea what was going on, and I never got an explanation. But it was one of the weirdest. It's just, you know, you feel like some people just, again, I love my brother, but even my mom does not look at him like that, okay? His own mother does not run to him with that much, yes. They're like, how did you get him here? Our boy, that's our boy. How do you get him around? I have no idea. I don't know what the situation is, but also a little bit hurt. And this might be just a little bit of jealousy because I'm like, hey, I, worked there. I worked nothing. I'm, how did we get him? He doesn't even work in this field anymore. Carlton does this stuff. Joey does this stuff. Nick does this. My brothers, everybody else is supposed to be here but me. Nobody goes, hey, how'd you get the guy? Huh? How'd you get him? Nothing. Like, yeah, he probably had nothing going on, huh? So anyways, point is, it's over with, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Now, what else is going on in my world, man? I will tell you this much. For some reason in my life, people have been coming to me for advice. Okay? I don't know if that's because of the $9 watch. But for whatever reason, they seek some sort of wisdom from me. And I don't get it. I don't know where it started. He can tell time. Maybe he can tell me what to do. And I've offered out into the podcast, hey guys, come say your stuff and I'll give it back on the podcast. But this is like in personal things. People, they want me to help, and I'm fine. I love to be of assistance in any way I can, but I can't stress this enough. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. And that includes life, for breakfast, and right now. All right. I have no clue what's going on around me. My entire existence revolves around me being confused about it, okay? I'm wearing a Looney Tunes hat. I just ruined basically everything that I own for Milk, and then I went back and got another glass. So the wisdom, basement floor. I'm not the best one to help. Again, I would love to, all right? I will give you responses. I will send things to you, but I just want to say that in case you're trying to apply my knowledge or my advice into practice and you go, that didn't work at all. And I go, well, I don't know, okay? I'm just, right? There might as well be a propeller in my back pocket because I'm flying by the seat of my pants, okay? I don't know. But it's a weird, I don't know why it's happening. I don't know when it started. I think it's just because I laugh sometimes and people go, oh, you got over that thing. Maybe you seem pretty happy. You're joking about all these problems. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? My laptop's gone. It's over with. All I can do is tell a joke. But I don't know. It's something of my happy-go-luckiness. And people go, where'd you get that? How did you get that? Can I have some of that? And I go, you don't want it. But yeah, it's new. And I will say that most of my advice kind of revolves around, especially people that are younger than me. I just go, things are harder when you're younger. And they really are, to be fair. I'm not saying, that's not bad advice. Things really seem way bigger when you are younger. For example, a nightmare that I've been reflecting on recently is there was a time at my old church where we had a youth group kind of sketch show we were creating. And I had said something that people thought I created, and I was in this whole whirlwind of feeling like a fraud, and it wasn't the biggest deal in the world, but to me it was. So we're shooting this little sketch thing, and the people running, they just go, hey, go improvise. So we're going back and forth. It's not really funny. Nothing's really happening. And on one of the takes, I quoted Ross from Friends. All right. And I'm holding this mug. And when Ross is trying to bribe somebody, he's like, here's this genuine pterodactyl egg replica.
Genuine pterodactyl egg replica.
So I say that in the scene. Laughter. Oh! Oh my gosh. How is that so funny? And at the moment, I go, yeah, that's funny. I just assume everybody was watching Nick at Night every night and had all of the Friends lines memorized. That was not the case, and I did not realize that immediately until next week. Somebody goes, oh man, that pterodactyl thing, that was so good, so funny. You're the best. You're so funny. Go, yeah, it's fun. It's nothing. And then another week goes by, and another week, and then I keep getting compliments for this stupid, silly little line that I didn't come up with, right? And until one week, about a month later, somebody goes, oh, and we'll have to do the pterodactyl thing again because that was genius. Hey, how did you come up with that? You are a creative genius. Pieces put together. I realized in this moment, they thought I came up with this. This was not what I was feeling this whole time. I thought it was, yeah, good reference, man. Way to pull that one out of thin air. You really saved us. I realized I was receiving credit for a long while, and I was more shy and more reserved at this time in my life. You might not believe that because, right? But I was very shy and very, to myself, and it would have been hard for me to speak up and admit this regardless. But now, so much time had passed, and I have received so much praise, and people had built me up on this thing that I didn't know how to say anything. I didn't know how to... Oh crap. I didn't know what to do. Okay. So I let it simmer. I let it set. And again, this goes back to how much bigger everything feels. this was like the worst thing that could happen to anybody. All right, more than spilling milk all over your laptop. It was headlining news in my brain constantly, and I was still watching Friends. So every time the episode would come back in cycle, like, God, I hope they're not watching this right now, and then they're gonna find me out. So I'm living with this so much pain. And every time I see them, I'm like, oh, hopefully you didn't. I just feel like I'm gonna get caught, and I don't wanna. But also, it just feels so monumental. Until eventually it comes to a head where we're shooting these things and we're having a grand old time. And I realize, you know what? Like, I don't want to be lying to these people, okay? I don't want to be feeling like a fraud. Like I'm not who they expect me to be. And I realize I'm going to be seeing these people for the foreseeable future, okay? And I want to have good established trust and make sure they know exactly what I'm capable of, and it's not that. So I decide, in good faith, because I got a heart of gold, that I was going to write an email. That's right, an electronic mail. I wrote to them, dude. I felt so bad about this. I couldn't face them. Again, I was too shy. I wrote a touching, heartfelt apology I spent hours on, admitting that, again, this is just some stupid little line. This is how big it all felt. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a fraud, and I've ruined the sanctity of this moment. And that I have this sketch, and you promoted it, and you published it, and you're like, hey, this is all a big conglomerate of creative minds, but hey, that guy, he lied. So I wrote this whole thing, man. And I realized how much I needed to get this off my chest, because finally I did, and I went, yes. They were all very nice and complimentary of it still, like, hey, that was a good reference, but I felt like there was some disappointment. And I was like, what a weight, dude. Like how little that really was, but how big of a weight on my shoulders. And I thought, well, finally, again, I can just get back to having fun with these people, and we can just ride freely from now on. But then the church closed down about a week after that, and there was no reason. There was no reason to confess whatsoever, and I think about that a lot. The turmoil, dude, the pain that I had felt, and then I was like, you know what? Good guy, go. And they're like, yeah, that was great. I could have went the rest of my life, never said a thing. All right? I don't run into these people. I don't swim in the same circles as them, okay? They would have never known. And for the rest of time, they would have thought, hey, there's that smart, that pterodactyl line, that was pretty good. How did they come up with that? They would have never known. I could have never seen these people again, and they would live the rest of their lives believing I was a comedic genius. But nay, it's not true. So the church did shut down, and part of me, I was like, is that right? Which is very egotistical to even think, but, correlation, causation. I don't know, but I've been reminiscing, and point is, I quoted a TV show, okay? And I acted like I lied to the church. I acted like I stole from the pot of tithing. It was the most heinous thing I had ever done up until this point. Now I'll lie freely. Don't care. But I felt so bad, man. I felt so bad. But to circle back to why my advice is good is that things always feel bigger when you're younger. And sometimes it's fine to just lie and just leave it be. Because if you tell the truth, your church gets shut down. That is the point behind all of that. So yeah, outside of that and writing sad emails. Actually, you know what? Speaking of emails, dude, I am in this big family group email chain that's going on. And I don't get it. I don't know why there's an email created. Now we're going to go and help my grandparents move here soon, but I don't know where the email thread came from. And there's I just spam, and the whole family's basically in it. And there was already a text thread. Everybody was already grouped up and saying the thing. And And I don't know where. There's so many emails coming in constantly, and I'm just curious why the email, it feels old school to people for some reason. Like email is more trustworthy, or it feels like this is a product of the older times. But it's not like people were emailing for a long while before text had come out. It's not like, this is email is more old coded, right? This is more old style. It's not like we're writing letters to each other or we're tying them to the foot of a pigeon fly, right? I don't know why we're preferring the email over that. And my biggest gripe is that whatever's wrong with this email thread, and it's always the email with my family, they open weird on my phone. I don't know if it's a different formatting issue, but I can't read any of it. So I've gotten 19 emails, new, and it's nothing changed. It's all the same, but it's like all over each other. The only thing I can see every time I open it is that everybody, it says sent from my iPhone. And that's, guys, all right, if you're listening, one, I love you. Thanks for listening. But two, we got to tighten that up, all right? The sent from my iPhone tagline, if we haven't changed that custom feature, you're still running around with the sent from my iPhone line? You got to fix that. Every single one. Sent from my iPhone, sent from my iPhone, sent from my iPhone. That's like 2009, all right? The reason that was even there in the first place, sent from my iPhone, was because 15 years ago, if you got an email that said sent from my iPhone, you sent an email from your phone? Whoa! All right? That's crazy. Because I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my Nokia, and I get an email on my computer saying he sent that from his phone. But now, everything is sent from your iPhone. All right? You can send very sad and asking for forgiveness, apologies, to your church from your iPhone, but don't tag it. That's even more embarrassing than lying to the whole congregation. So I'm just saying, as a family, we need to tighten that up. It's no longer impressive. It's not so what, right? Hey, you got an iPhone? So? Huh? I should read this on my iPhone. Texted you from my iPhone. Okay. Anyways, I don't know why. I don't know emails. I don't know family emails. That's what I don't get. We have a family group chat. It's all there. And it's quick. Bang, 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 bang. Never a problem. And there's never any weird tags. And everyone's lightning quick and they get it. But now, it's all layers. It's all weird. It's all in the air, guys. Yeah, but hey, that's family, right? That's family. I do love my family. I gotta tell you, guys. I really gotta tell you. Helping them move. And we'll see how that goes. And also, it's been 2 or 3 days have been proposed, I think. Again, I can barely read them. For multiple days now, across multiple emails and text chat, and no one's decided on a day yet. I don't know if it's the Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and it's all in the air. And part of me, well, one, by the way, okay, this is no shot at my mom, but she asked me personally what day I preferred. I told her Saturday, because I don't want to miss the Browns game. I don't want to be moving furniture on a Sunday and miss the Browns game. But then I seen the text chat immediately after I said, we got to do Saturday. And the Buckeyes are on a bye. Okay, so we got to do Saturday. Sunday's no good for me. Immediately, just let me know what days you guys are good. Tristan's good for any day. I mean, I was involved with the rest of the kids, but I got looped in there. Tristan's good for whenever. Now, if it's family, if it's got to be done, of course. But I don't know why there's this thing where I realize, I've talked about it before, it's just a charade. It's such a, how you doing? Good. How are you? And no one really talks about how they're doing. People really only ask me what I want so they can say that they did. And that's it, all right? But that's where I'm at in my life. It's kind of like when my dad, he's like, hey, buddy, would you like to come and help me while I'm desperate for help? No, Dad, that's fine. I don't know. You're on your own. Hey, okay? You offered, okay? There's very inclusive I need. But good thing that's over. I'm not going to get into it, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, dude. What I'm trying to get at, guys, if you're going to ask anybody anything, take their opinion into account. Or at least, I wouldn't mind if she threw me under the bus. Hey, everybody's good for these 2 days except Tristan. He was very particular. He said, Sunday's no good. He said, it's not going to happen. He said, if you want me on Sunday, forget about it, okay? Saturday, good. He's there all day. Won't complain. Not even a problem. But Sunday, won't be there. But that's not what happened. They said, and also, I don't know. Maybe I should read these emails on my laptop. No, that's the problem, guys. I read them on my iPhone. So anyways, I think that's everything we have to talk about. We could go into another Tales from the Dollar Store. And you know what? Yes, I think we will. So, we all know the dollar store. It's heaven on earth in the way if heaven was completed with a bunch of random, probable felons. But you walk into a dollar store, you just don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes it's not just the customers. Sometimes it's the people who are working there while you're there. This isn't that weird of a story, but it's just there's always something funny or amusing that comes out of this, okay? And I was going to go skateboard. And again, I had gotten more Powerades. This is a very reoccurring thing for me. I'm skateboarding, and I don't know why I'm like, if I get Powerades, I'll maybe want some stuff. I sweated to get it, right? So I go and get these Powerades, but this time I have about 7 of them, okay? And so much so, I never grab the little carrying basket, because every time I go to the quick, boom, chocolate milk, I'm here for the show, okay? I'm not here for the items, really. I'm here for the people. This is my place. But this time, I was getting so many, I was just going to stock up, right? And I'm using the little carrier cart, and I've got 7, 8 Powerades. I don't know, a ton, right? And they're all the same. They're all the same flavor, okay? I go to the counter, and there's a woman named Clarice. My mom's going to be mad that I did that. That's a Hannibal Lecter joke. But not really a joke. It's a reference. I can't remember how his voice went. Well, were they, Clarice? Were they silencing the lambs, Clarice? I don't see why he's... Honestly, I mean, I watched that movie. I don't think I get it, though, because when I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time, I thought Hannibal Lecter was the good guy. He gave all the information. He protected her. He fought for her. They got kind of deeply emotionally intimate with one another. And then he really only killed 2 guys. And they came at him, let's be real. And then he just escaped. And now he's going to have somebody for dinner. What a stud. I didn't have any beef with Hannibal Lecter, honestly. I mean, if you look at the grand scheme of things, any Marvel superhero, anybody, just any random guy in any movie blows up a car. Boom, 3 people. Kill count way bigger than old HL, my boy. But anyways, Clarice gets back to the dollar store. Clarice, okay, she checks one of my Powerades out, and boop, $1.25, right? She grabs the other one. There's no boop. There's no boop. Where's the boop? There's no boop because for whatever reason, the barcodes on these last 6, 7, however many are left, are not reading. So I'm sitting here and I'm waiting in the dollar store. And she keeps trying to scan and scan and scan. And she's punching stuff in the computer and she's calling Deborah to the front. And she's like, I don't know what to do here. I need to be able to scan it because I don't know how much it is. Now, the reason this was amusing to me in the first place, because if I look around, everything says it's $1.25. Now, I'm waiting, okay? And normally I get very impatient. Not really with people, but maybe I could see myself going, all right, right? But I didn't. And this is one of those where I sat down and I just took it all in because this is what I came here for, right? I was happy that I was having another moment. So they're sitting there, and now 2 people are there, and they're trying to scan these, but they can't get the barcode to work. Eventually, they get 2, maybe 3, and they're like, we need to know how much this is gonna be. And I go, hey, whatever that was, those 4, multiplied by 2, because we got 4 more, okay? So I'm sitting here, I'm just waiting, and I'm watching the chaos ensue, and they're kind of arguing back and forth with each other because, like, oh, you set the thing wrong when you set up the system, so it's not going back, and there's, like, a weird slime on the back of these barcodes because there was a mess, and no one cleaned it up before. And I'm just watching, and I'm just waiting. And eventually, the elder, Deborah, whatever, she helps Clarice scan the rest of these things, and I was completely satisfied. All right, I didn't even really need the Powerades at this point. I was happy to witness the chaos. It fuels me. But then she did say something else that was funny. So she had these 8 Powerades on the counter, and she's like, "Do you want a bag for that?" And I was just like, I'm going to carry these home? What am I? Yeah, I need a bag. There's 8 Powerades. So I was like, yeah, that would actually be great. Thank you. But I skipped out of that store, dude. It was just a funny, it was a funny, and you got to love the dollar store. Again, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, anything like that. Anything where you feel like the lighting's a bit too weird, where you just you can smell it in the air that things just aren't right. People aren't really wearing shoes, If you see a guy in a pair of jeans, you're like, wow, all right, they're stepping it up. Like your credit score takes a dip just for opening the door. Not that I'm a high roller by any means, okay? I shop. These are my people. But I'm well aware of the community that I keep around. But I love the dollar store, dude. I love it, and I love the people. And I will say, man, as confusing of a bunch as they are, they're the nicest, okay? And I have a couple, honestly, I'm not going to go into them because we only do one tale of the dollar store at a time, okay? But yeah, I have some stories of some very, again, chaotic, awkward situations, interactions that I had that I wrote down. But they're so nice. But they were, a bit off-putting. Someone's like really in your face, kind of those ones. You're like, I gotta go, but this is interesting. So anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been Full Circus. I've been Tristan Sartoris, and I don't know if you're going to see this, quite honestly, on time, because I have to go give my laptop to Apple. I have to buy more rice. I didn't even finish drinking my milk, so what was the point of spilling it over in the first place? I can't do it. I can't chug. Never mind. Bye, guys.